This is where my grandma lives, Busia, Detroit, Michigan. Best house on the block. See though, the lot next to her, there is no lot. That house has been burned down and abandoned. The city condemned it, knocked it down. She's right next to I-75, the highway here. And if you go next door, on the other side, the house here has been knocked down too. Abandoned, burned down. That across the street there was from a fire that was started, arson, which then caught her back barn on fire. Kind of see part of that. Behind the tree there. Some of the damage on that. Really one of the only houses left on the block. Johnny Quad's next door here. House next to that's been abandoned. Probably be burnt pretty soon. And house here, you can see, has been torched. She won't leave though. She's been here for her whole life. Lived a couple blocks down that way. And she was growing up and then been in the house I just showed you for almost 50 years. This right here, the Jeep Gabri's Cannon, was stole a couple times in the past, recently though, and then they returned it, thankfully. We're gonna scrap it, get some money for the metal. That's why they took it originally, but thankfully some people got some decency left and decided to not take it. Make my way up here. You got the railroad tracks. She said the trains come by here 27 every night. You just get used to it though when you're sleeping. And then back here we got Foreman Field. The city comes every now and then to cut it down, but we used to play here when we were growing up, and all the kids that live down here. Pretty much abandoned now. There's some old ball fields where my dad used to play with his friends. You can see one of the cages over there. And next door, the Rouge River, which is pretty polluted and why you can smell a pretty strong stench driving by here. Going back across the tracks, you got the bar, the club, as they call it, Carbon AC, Carbon Athletic Club. There's still a couple members, but they used to have softball teams and used to be a lot more lively place than it is now. Now you got tires on the side of the road, torn down fencing, a lot of litter, a lot of pollution, and found out that just today, the building on the left, there was arson involved, and coming up to it in a second, it was up in flames earlier today, and the fire department couldn't even get to it because there was a train stuck on the tracks. So it took them over an hour just to even get to it. You can see there it just got freshly burned out. Bunch of old tires too. This is next to the Morton plant where you get your salt. There's a lot wrong with this city. But you know what? There's still a lot of good still left in here. And my grandma's a perfect example of that. You know, she won't leave. She's been her whole life, and despite the fires and gun shootings and drug deals, you know, wants to still consider and make this place her home. And I respect her for that, having the courage to do so. Sometimes worry about her safety, but in the end, I know she's making the right choice. So, Detroit, man, I still got a lot of hope for it. Still got a lot of hope for you. And I'm doing my part to try to help revitalize as much as I can through my efforts with helping small businesses and hip hop and positive influence on youth. Too many people are afraid of this city, and they need to stop being like that, because there is a lot of good. Peace in.